What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about ChargePoint. I want to go over what's been influencing the price the last couple of days, what the data points are currently saying, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So ChargePoint did manage to close 1.55% in the green, had a nice spike to around 207, and that is as a result of good old GDP numbers coming in better than forecast. So forecast came in at 4.9, the actual was 5.2. Tomorrow, it is to note that PCE is coming out, so that could once again give the market a nice potential push up. And despite some of the headwinds that's been happening with ChargePoint, honestly, the technicals are kind of looking like it might have an opportunity to break. So I'm going to go over that in a second. But at the time of doing this video, there has been no recent PR, no SEC filings, nothing like that. So ChargePoint has been just piggybacking off of the broader market and just the technicals. Today it did, or I guess yesterday, it did bounce off of a very strong support level. And based on today though, 15.99 million shares were traded, 20.48 is the average. So even that was a nice change of events, because the volume has been dropping over the last about a week and a half. So this was a little bit more of a nice change in my opinion. There's a couple of things I just wanted to share with you, and more so what prompted this very big sell-off that did happen yesterday. So there was a couple of analyst ratings that did come down the pipeline. One from Bank of America, Alex, who does have a 60% success rating, did give a hold and a $2.50 price target. And then Robert with UBS, who does have a 38% success rating, did give a downgrade and $2.25. So analysts, like I said, have just turned their cheek on ChargePoint and haven't really liked it. And even this did come out yesterday on on CNBC. And this individual right here, Josh Brown, does kind of talk on both PayPal and ChargePoint. So I just wanted to quickly play this about a minute kind of snippet for you just on ChargePoint. Prior to that though, he's been saying that the market is ready and very much poised to have new highs and enter into a Christmas rally as well. A lot of people are saying it. So once again, I'm just going to play this, and yeah, if you guys have any questions on this, let me know.
Okay. Now, what's the methodology behind your selling of ChargePoint, CHPT, which you did?
Tax loss.
Just plain and simple, just tax loss. Just time to get out of that?
I've been selling it down all year. I now officially have none. It's one of my worst positions over the last couple of years. I think when I bought it in 2021, it was a different environment. The environment changed. The fundamentals of the company got worse. I spent too long giving them the benefit of the doubt. At this point, it's gone so low, it's almost irrelevant to the portfolio, but the tax loss carry forward will be valuable, especially given how much the market is up this year. How many stocks? I mean, you think about, we're talking about growth versus value. Look at the top 10 growth stocks. They're up an average of 80%. Like, there are a lot of taxable gains. It's really important that you have taxable losses to help offset those.
Yeah, UBS today downgrading it to neutral. They had it on a buy, and they cut the price target all the way to $2.25. So
the CEO got thrown out. It's a disaster. They literally did everything wrong. So they fired the CEO. They put in somebody.
And so yeah, basically what he said, I completely agree with. Throughout the whole year, as I've even been doing videos, and even before that whole CEO debacle, I did say that, you know what, Q1 2024, bigger and better things could be coming. So a lot of this time, just a lot of people have been giving excuses for ChargePoint, but plain as day, they have been suffering. But then again, like I said, based on the technicals, it does look like something might be coming. So even though companies have been beaten down and aren't necessarily performing where they should be, there still is some opportunity to make some money. So once again, just going over options. So about $381,000 in calls being purchased versus 8.55 million in puts. People are betting that ChargePoint is going to continue to trend down. Looking at the call options that have been purchased today, looking at the strike prices, expiry dates, it is anticipated for it to be above around $2. So kind of where it's at. Looking at the puts, it is anticipated to be sub $2. So ultimately, that is a very strong pivot point that I'm going to touch on in a second. Going over shorts though. So shorts have always been in ChargePoint for a while. Oddly enough, they haven't really doubled down as much as I would have anticipated, but regardless, they have been very much there and present. Today, they did return 611,000 shares. So I think in reality, maybe the GDP numbers did spook them a little bit. It came in a lot better than anticipated. And with PCE coming out tomorrow, you never know. That could result in something very positive, but still 24.32% of the free float is being shorted. 78.99 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average is 11.37%. So obviously I'm bringing this up merely as a benchmark. I'm definitely not saying ChargePoint is a squeeze play unless they come out with something absolutely iconic for their upcoming earnings, which is right around the corner. But through Interactive Broker, short availability does indicate that there's around 500,000 shares available to be shorted. And just to give you a quick overview on any analyst changes, it does look like previously it was 10 analysts with a consensus of negative 13 cents per share, and now it looks like 11 with a consensus of negative 20 cents. So bearishness all around when it comes to that. If you are looking for a lot of good compiled information such as analyst ratings, forecasts, everything under the sun, take a look at Interactive Brokers, link in the description below and also the comments for all this information to be completely free. And then when it comes down to technicals, like I said, even though ChargePoint has been getting beaten up and kind of justifiably so, you can still potentially make some money. And what I mean by that is, so today was a crazy day, or I guess yesterday as well. So it did have $1.79 as the low, and that is this S3. So we do know that it's a very strong support, which is definitely a very good thing. But today it did range bound between $1.94 and $2.07. So it didn't really have enough to get above this pivot point of $2.05. So it kind of bounced off of that. So as it stands, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So $1.95 is another strong support, which it did hold today. And so going into tomorrow with PCE coming out, and once again, even looking at some of the forecasts for that, it is anticipated to come out rather well. And this is going to be one that's either spooks the market completely crazily or really gives it a nice justification to go up, because the Feds look at PCE as a good indicator against inflation, even though mainstream media does like to look at CPI, but the Feds, no matter what, look at PCE. So if positive, then it could give this nice justification to trend up and above this 205, and then it could go to around 215, or who knows, as high as maybe 221. I don't really see any justifying reason for it to be above that, especially with their earnings right around the corner, which is coming out on December the 6th, if I remember correctly. Just quickly go over here. So December the 6th after hours. So that might be the next make it or break it point. So obviously with those earnings, if it's as bad as what everyone is forecasting, then yes, we could potentially trend back down to $1.79, or if there is a odd surprise from that, then it could give it nice justification for it to have a nice rebound. So even though there's a lot of fear with ChargePoint, I do feel that there is some opportunity to potentially make some money with it. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. But over and above that, one final thing I just wanted to share with you, two indicators that I really like to look at. Looking at the momentum indicator shows number of retail investors have been getting in, as you can kind of tell, it going up ever since it looks like the 24th of November. Stochastic is very oversold. So going back to their upcoming earnings, if there's some positive stuff that does come out, even though it's not anticipated, but even if there is, you could see a rush of value investors getting in. So that's kind of a positive thing to think about. Let me know your thoughts on ChargePoint. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with ChargePoint? Or have you been like this individual right here and selling for tax loss purposes? Or what's your take? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo with Moomoo. All you have to do is sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.